Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's varsity basketball game where the Salette Lions are going to be playing against the Uni High Illineks. I'm Michael McCall, and next to me is Kevin Quigley. Lions coming off a big victory against the Uni High JV team. Outstanding play there by the Lions. Hopefully we can see a good matchup here tonight with the varsity. The Lions are coming off of a tough loss against Arthur. Hopefully they can recover from that, learn what they needed to, and perform well tonight.
Right, and they've had a long break. Arthur was, of course, right before the students went home on Christmas break. So they've had plenty of time to rest and recover. They had a lot of games all spaced pretty close together. And Salette definitely on paper is the better team tonight. The Lions are 5-9, and a lot of those losses came in tournament play. The Illineks have only won one game this year. They're 1-12. The only common opponent that they've played with the Lions was Arthur Christian, and they lost to them 56-39. And as I'm sure you all know, we lost to Arthur by only 3 points at the end of a very close game. So we should be able to come away with a win tonight. That'd be great to start off our second half of the season, but it's up to the players out there right now to deliver. We have our usual starting lineup of number 10, William Fitzpatrick, the point guard, number 24, Matthew Romero, number 11, Eamon Martin.
And the Lions immediately setting the tempo of this game, moving slowly and strongly on defense, coming up with the steal, coming right down and moving slowly on offense. Chuck with the nice jumper, that's no good. Rebounded by number 12 from Uni High.
Brownridge in the corner now, gets it to Perticamp. He gets it back to Kemla, and Uni High really only using one half of their side of the court. And the shot's gonna be no good, but the referee is going to call a foul, which is on University High, so that's going to be their first foul.
William Fitzpatrick bringing up the point guard position. He's done a good job so far. We've seen him be able to knock down threes in a couple games. He's a little bit inconsistent. I think that's just going to grow throughout this closing end of the season. But he's been able to run this offense very well as Gus Blood goes there by Matthew. As you just said, Matthew's definitely started off pretty strong, and he kind of dwindled out, stayed not baseline, what's it called? Plateaued a little bit, but he's definitely been getting a lot better. He played very well in the Arthur game, was able to crawl back against the big lead that Arthur had. Hopefully we can see more of that in the next Arthur game.
Gus makes both his free throws to put the Lions up 2-0. Ball gets to Brownridge, who now drives in. He takes a shot off balance, and Charles Prather secures that rebound. Uni High's in a 2-3 zone. They're not picking up coverage until Fitz is all the way up to the top of the key, and Eamon Martin shows up with a three. Nice play. That was just all it took was Fitz to pass it to him, just that one pass, and Eamon took the three and knocked it right down.
Fitz almost jumping the passing lane and coming up with the steal. Wasn't quite able to get with that, get the ball, but that's what he's been doing well throughout this whole season, racking up his steal. And earlier I heard Charles Prather saying he liked to play against the zone more. So hopefully the Lions can use that to their advantage, work around the zone. Eamon Martin in the corner for another big shot. Hits a three, bringing the score 8-0.
Eamon quick out of the gates, and he's going to force the University High coach to call a full timeout.
And that's really nice to see from Eamon Martin. You know, in past games, players just been hesitant to take shots, and Eamon got that shot. He was open. He thought about it for a second, but then took it and nailed it. Big shots there from Eamon Martin. Definitely shows that he has more confidence out there, taking big threes at the very beginning of the game. Also nice ball movement for the Lions.
And I know one lesson that we learned from Arthur was that even though we are down by almost 20 points, we are able to come back and we were able to score at a much greater rate than the other team. And so if we can just do that from the beginning and just start scoring as fast as we were and as much as we were against Arthur, then we'll be able to put up huge leads on the other teams we play.
Yes, the game is never over until the final buzzer sounds. And we saw the Lions really play their hearts out and did not play until the game finished in their last game.
And the ball is going to go back to the Lions as the Illineks number 31, McManus Mendelowitz, turns it over. Fitzpatrick brings it up and has plenty of time all the way to the top of the key. Yet again to Romero and then back to Eamon, and they swing it around. Fitz, nice fake pass, but then holds it away, doesn't see anything. Gus Blood with the pass into Charles Prather, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds. That's going to be a foul. Looks like Charles hit his elbow, so he's shaking it out. That's the Illineks' third foul, not even halfway through the first quarter yet. They need to slow down, and at the rate the Lions are scoring, if the University High team slows down anymore, it's going to be a field day.
And Uni High really jumping out in that corner, not wanting any threes to be taken. Matthew loses control of it a little bit, recovers and finds William Fitzpatrick.
Fitz at the wing now, dribbling, gets a defender off balance, gets it to Eamon, and Eamon's third three attempt misses for the first time. Charles with the rebound, but the putback no good.
He's a little bit too far away from the hoop there to make that one fall. And it results in the Uni High getting a defensive rebound.
Nave takes a shot, that's no good. Eamon gets a defensive rebound, his first of the night. Matt saw right there that he had the advantage as Gus Blood knocks down the layup. But Romero saw that he had the advantage, that his defender was coming towards him, so as soon as he caught the ball, he quickly moved in and was able to set up for Gus, who now is taking the ball back for the Lions. Eamon dribbles in, takes a jumper. That rattles around, hits the backboard, and then comes back down, and that's good. Eamon's at 8 points already, not even halfway through the first quarter.
Eamon's on a real roll right now. As Uni High takes a three, Eamon almost comes up with the rebound, and little William Fitzpatrick dives in to grab the rebound. And he's trying to set something up. Finds Matthew, who's open in the corner, doesn't take it. Gets it to the top of the key over to Eamon. Fitzpatrick into Charles Prather, spins around, loses control of it, regains it, barely. Fitzpatrick comes up with it. Drives baseline all the way down to the paint, throws it in, and it's intercepted by number 12 from Uni High as he goes all the way down to the other side and puts in 2 points as Mr. Blaze Laronia checks into the game.
Kemla's definitely aggressive, driving in, trying to make a layup. That's, I think, the first one that he has made so far, but he has taken a couple chances. And Gus Blood is going to draw the foul as he was trying to get the pass off. That foul's on number 10, Coleman Clarity.
As he does, Mr. Blaze Laronia comes into the game, number 5. He's coming in for Charles Prather. Blaze in his past few games has really come into the games really strong. He's hit a couple shots, and he might have been open there for the three. Doesn't take it, holds on to it, gives it to Matthew Romero, over to Fitzpatrick, over to Eamon Martin, now back to Fitzpatrick. Matthew with it, gives it to Blood in the high post. Dishes it to Fitzpatrick. Eamon for another three. That one's going to go hard off the rim, a little bit too short.
Blaze was there. If he had just been set up, he probably would have been able to grab that rebound, but he wasn't, so it went over his head. Now Perda-Camp comes with offensive rebound for the Illineks, and Laronia in there fighting and rips that away.
I just saw Laronia jump, engulf the ball, and rip it out of the hands. Mr. Laronia comes up with a big steal.
Matt has it now at the top of the key. Lions have been doing a great job reversing the ball around the arc. Crazies are chanting, we want a three. And that's going to be a kick ball on Clarity. Eamon will inbound, and that was good because the Lions offense was kind of stalling out, and this way they'll get a way to reset. They didn't even have to go through their set play because the defense wasn't set up, so they just passed it straight to Romero there. Romero has it now, draws his defender in and then drives in again. His shot no good. Gus tried to get the rebound, but is gonna get called for the push.
And Gus Bloody's looking a lot more comfortable out there on the court, being aggressive, grabbing the ball. There, he was a little bit too aggressive, but I mean, I'd rather take that than being not aggressive enough. He's been doing really well this season, grabbing rebounds, putting up points, just being a big presence out there on the court. As that shot's no good, too far into the hands of William Fitzpatrick.
Right, Fitzpatrick with his second rebound. Now he brings it up the court. Sees Romero. He gets it to Gus at the elbow, and now they swing it again to Eamon in the corner. Gus has it again, and this time he drives in, puts it on the floor for one dribble, and puts it up for two. Lines up now 14-2.
And William Fitzpatrick playing the baseline. I don't quite know why he's there, but that shot's going to be good for Uni High. Their second made shot of the night. That's a three. And that's going to be a timeout on the Lions. And tonight, I'm hoping to see a little bit of action from Daniel Duggan. Hopefully he might be able to get in if the Lions, or if Coach Spezia wants to put him in. Daniel, really good defensive player, extremely aggressive out there on the court. He's also a huge advantage for the bench, very energetic.
Illineks already had their timeout. Coach Spezia still talking to the Lions, but they're going to bring it in now. It will be lost Salette ball because Coach Spezia called it right after that made three. Eamon's going to inbound. He won't have any trouble to get it in because University's still only defending one quarter of the court. Matt finds Eamon again. Eamon doesn't have it well on the right side, but he gets it to Daniel Bergman, who just came into the game for Fitzpatrick. Gus has it now, sees Bergman, who's open. And now the ball swung again to the corner where Romero is. Bergman has it, gets it to Gus. Gus drives in, doesn't finish, but Blaze goes up, gets the rebound, and is hit from behind on the shot, so he's going to get some free throws.
And a big rebound there again from Blaze Aronia. Nice play there as he's at the line for 2 free throws.
Blaze's first free throw is good. Second free throw, no good. Bergman fighting for the rebound, and he comes away with it. He gets the ball knocked out, but then he's on the ground fighting for it, and he's going to keep the possession with the Lions. Eamon looking for someone to pass it to, finds Romero. Romero to Bergman, Bergman to Martin. Now, Matt's going to reset the offense with 11 seconds left. He drives in, kicks out to Eamon. Eamon for three. That's no good. Romero there for the quick rebound. He doesn't get it. Blaze tries to puts it up, and that's going to end up with nothing, and it's going to be the Illineks ball.
And that was a bad sequence for the Lions. They rushed things. That three from Eamon was a little bit too early. And the Lions are going to go into the second quarter being up by 10. Possibly could be up by 12. Score 15-5 right now.
So the way that the Illineks are playing defense right now with only picking up the coverage when the point guard basically gets to the top of the arc is reminding me of a story that I was reading about a coach of, I think it was a 6th grade girls basketball team. And he was new to the game of basketball, and he thought he was a former soccer player, and he looked at basketball and he said, why does the defense always give the offense an entire half of the court to go and set up and run their offense exactly how they want it? And so then he thought, that's just kind of stupid. Why don't they just press all the time? So then that was what he had his team do. He had them full court press every single play, every single game, and it worked so well. Sometimes his teams would get up by 25 points to nothing just out of the start of the game, just because the other teams weren't sure how to handle it. So I don't know, the Salette teams never really seem to press very much, and I think that it definitely can work. It does work against the Lions a lot. And the Illineks, their JV team, did press a little bit, but this team is just all right with letting Salette get down and set up their offense to run exactly how they want it, and that's just fine with us.
I think 2 years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, but Lions played PBL, and they brought a press, and their press just destroyed us, and we weren't able to get around it at all, and they just kept stealing it, kept putting up points. And, I mean, that just goes to what you're saying. Like, a full-court press is so damaging if the team doesn't know how to handle it. As the ball's inbounded to William Fitzpatrick. He goes up to the top of the key. Pump fakes, or pass fakes, gives it to Matthew in the corner for 3. That's no good. Eamon with the rebounds. Circling around, gets wide open, takes a jumper off the front of the rim. Too short. As Uni High quickly brings it down to the other court. Nice pass. Might have been a push there, nothing called, and that shot is good.
Fitz bringing it across the court slowly. Now he speeds it up, gets it to Eamon. Charles has it in the corner. Romero probably could have passed it to the corner if someone had been there, but there was no one there until Eamon showed up. Ball down to Prather in the post. Great hands to hold on to that. And the finish.
Good footwork there from Charles Prather, too. Fitzpatrick had Charles earlier, had him open earlier. He just did not see him. He was too focused on getting the ball to Eamon. Luckily, that was able to get a shot up.
Gus Blood comes away with the rebound there. Off the missed shot. Now Fitzpatrick bringing up the court. He does a great job of looking like he's taking his time until he gets to the defender, then just speeding up and blowing right past him. Gus takes it in, and Matt was open. Gus looked like he wanted to kick it out, but didn't. Eamon wide open under the hoop, and he's going to finish that for 2.
And it was a little scary there for a second because Uni High started to scratch back at the scoreboard, started to put points up, and luckily the Lions quickly came back and started showing their offense that they did in the first few minutes of the first quarter. As that ball is kicked out of bounds by William Fitzpatrick. So Uni High's ball on the sideline. Fitzpatrick jumps to try to steal it, but no good. Nice spin move into the corner, jumper, and Charles Prather comes up with the rebounds.
Fitz drives in and gets it to Romero in the corner, who now looks for Eamon. Once again, no one on the side that the ball carrier was moving to. Eamon didn't have anyone, so he had to pass back down to the middle. Good spin around by Charles Prather and able to finish. He's got 4 points now to go along with 3 rebounds. Clarity shoots a 3 that hits off the rim, and Romero comes up with it. Romero almost gets driven back across half court, but keeps moving forward. Eamon goes up for the shot and gets fouled. Almost gets that to fall, but it doesn't. But he's going to get 2 free throws out of the deal.
And earlier in the season, Eamon was playing point guard sort of and taking the ball up, kind of running the offense. But now he's kind of switched to, would you say, kind of a power forward?
I mean, it depends
Shooting
on who's
guard?
in the game. He was playing shooting guard a little bit, but when we have Fitz and Romero out there, he's playing more of a small forward position, which definitely gets him a lot of shots. And I think that's the key to our offense is if we can have Eamon be a shooter and not a ball handler, then that's really gonna work for us, because when he has to, you know, get the defenders off balance and create shots for other people, we're never able to make quite as many shots as when he's the one taking them. Romero with the 3 now, and that rolls around and is in.
Catch and shoot shot there by Matthew. Beautiful play there, putting 3 in. He's been wanting that shot in the corner all night. He's finally able to get it. Uni High tries to respond to that 3, but no good. As Charles almost fouled number 12 for Uni High. Luckily he did not, so it's Lions ball.
Fitz gets it to Romero again behind the arc. Eamon swings it to Fitz in the opposite corner. Fitz to Gus, and now Eamon drives in, but he gets stalled. Matt pump fakes, comes back out, and the Lions just not getting an open shot. They should come back out and reset. Eamon almost loses the ball, but holds on to it. Lions just passing around. Gus Blood, nice no-look pass to Eamon, and Eamon follows that up with the shot, but it's no good. But he does draw the foul, so he's gonna get 3 free throws.
That's a big play for Eamon Martin. It wasn't good, but he's going to get a second chance at getting those 3 points at the free throw line. However, he misses his first one, goes right into the hands of Charles Prather as 2 Lions are planning to come in. I believe it's Daniel Duggan and Elijah Hall.
Eamon's second shot is good. Now Duggan comes in for Romero, and Elijah comes in for Gus. Eamon's third shot is good as well. That brings his scoring total to 14. And Blaze Laronia also into the game for Eamon. Number 1, Alana, takes a shot, no good. Charles has to fight for the rebound, but he does pull it down. Fitz gets it to Duggan, who passes to Charles in the corner. Duggan then cuts in, but Charles was double-teamed and couldn't get the pass away.
Daniel Duggan putting the ball on the floor, dribbling around. Nice to see that he's comfortable and dribbling the ball, taking it out of the corner. As Fitz gets it into the post to Charles Prather. Elijah Hall kind of clumping it up there. Daniel Duggan slides on the floor to try to tip the pass and keep it with the Lions. However, it's going to be called for the foul. That's his first.
What the Illineks are doing now is when the ball moves to the corner, they're setting 2 defenders down to trap, and that really slows things down because the Lions have been getting open looks in the corner all game, and now those aren't there anymore, so they're having to adjust.
Charles grabs that rebound out of the air, and the Lions ball back down. Duggan loses control of his dribble as he drives into 2 defenders. Shot no good off the hands of Charles Prather. It's going to stay with Uni High.
Fitz inbounds to Duggan, and the Illineks are into a press now. Duggan just dribbles around, gets it to Elijah, who almost gets the pass picked off, but doesn't. Fitz drives in now, gets it to Charles, who's open down low, and he sinks that layup. Blaze guarding Kemla, who drives in, gets it to number 23, Curry Reed, who turns it over. Fitz with the steal, the behind-the-back dribble, and the finish. Wow.
Fancy move there by William Fitzpatrick. Behind-the-back dribble, showing his capabilities with his handles, and is able to finish the layup. Uni High is trying to fight back. The ball's tipped away by Duggan. A hook shot. No good. Rebound Elijah Hall. What a stellar JV game. Patrick easily drives past his defender. Gets to Charles Prather again. He's going up for the nice layup. No good. Bounces out. Quick pass to number 5.
Brownridge, who loses it out of bounds.
It looks like the ref's arm knocked it out of his hands. So he's gonna, the Union High's gonna keep it. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a ref steal the ball from the team, but there's the first time for everything.
Kemla trying to drive around Fitz, but Duggan and Bergman are both there to stop. Corey Reed with it, and that's going to go off the hands of La Salette and stay with the Illineks. A minute left to play in the first half. Score 32-7. Kemla takes an off-balance shot, and Daniel Bergman comes up with his second rebound of the game. Fitz signaling the play to the Lions. Elijah doesn't see Duggan cutting, and so he's going to turn it over. He passes out of bounds, but it's going to be tipped by one of their opponents, and Duggan's going to get to inbound. He gets it to Hall. Nice cut in by Duggan, and he finishes for 2. I could hear Father Carlisle, as Duggan was looking where to inbound, yelling Hall, telling him to patch it to Elijah Hall. Fitzpatrick with a steal. And then once he did that, Duggan was cutting, and Elijah saw him and just found him.
As Elijah backs up his defender for the easy layup. He misses his first run, comes up with the rebound and puts it in as the Lions continue to put points up on the board as the clock for the second quarter winds down. Fitz wanting the steal, backs off. Spins around, he's going under the basket, and Daniel Duggan tips it as the buzzer's gonna ring. No shot, no good. As the Lions come out of the first half, 36-7. And the Lions playing strongly tonight. They've had a couple instances where made a couple mistakes, but they hopefully can come out of this second quarter and correct those mistakes, and hopefully a few subs can get some varsity playing time. But until then, please come back in about 10 minutes to watch this varsity game. Thank you very much.
And we're back to the second half of the Lions game against the University High Illineks. The Lions are up right now 36-7. They've had a very good game so far. Eamon Martin right now leading the team. He's pulled out a lot. He has 14 points and 2 rebounds. It's going to be the Illineks ball to start the second half. And number 5, Brown Ridge, inbounds it to Kemla. Clarity takes it for the Illineks, and then number 5 dribbles in, and he throws up a shot, which he gets to fall. Eamon has it now after Fitz passes it to him. It's the starters back in the game for the Lions to start this half. The middle's wide open for someone to drive down, but the ball gets passed to Prather in the high post. He finds Romero outside. Back to Prather, down on the other side of the paint this time. And the ball gets stolen by Kemla. He's taking it down the court quickly, and Fitzpatrick is going to get called for the foul.
That's exactly what we did not want to happen. Fitz running down, reaching there. He knew he had the foul as soon as he grabbed in there, and you could see the frustration on his face. Lions really got to tighten up their act right now. They're playing a little sloppy right now. That should have been another foul there on Eamon. Nothing's called. Eamon, quick drive, is going to put up 2 more points, and that's good for 2, 38-9. Eamon Martin with 16 points now.
Charles and Fitz trapping Brown Ridge, but he gets the pass over Fitz to Kemla. Camp is able to shoot from the middle of the paint. The Illineks back into the press, but Romero just dribbles down past his man. What a beautiful pass to Prather, and he's going to draw the foul, but I don't know how that shot didn't go in. It looked perfect, but then it rolled off the rim.
And Matthew, I think Matthew should have driven there. Charles was not expecting to pass. He was too far out. He was able to come up with it and threw it up, but Matthew decided to pass it, gave it to Charles, and Charles is now at the free throw line. Makes his first one. Hopefully going to hit 40 points. Make it to 40.
Number 31, Zev McManus-Mendelowitz, comes into the game for the Illineks. Charles' second shot, no good, but Eamon pulls down the rebound. Now he drives in, kicks out to Fitzpatrick. Fitz turns to the side, but then comes back to the left. Romero dribbling around. Fitzpatrick letting them know the play. Now all the lines flash up. Romero's the sole player on the outside. Then great footwork by Prather to get his defender completely off balance and opens up the side of the hoop to get him his 9th point.
As Uni High is trying to figure out something, number 5 drives in off the backboard hard. Charles Prather comes out with the rebound and hands it off to Fitzpatrick. As Uni High brings the press on Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick easily gets past them. Risky pass to Charles Prather. Charles Prather gets it back. Gus Blood with the spin around jumper, no good. Charles Prather tries to get the rebound, and it's off his hands. Going to stay with Uni High. Eli Curry-Reed comes into the game.
Kemla gets it back to Brown Ridge, who had brought the ball up the court, but Brown Ridge narrowly avoids getting the ball taken out of bounds. Gus Blood fighting for the rebound, and he's going to end up with it. Fitz has it now, lets his teammates get in their places on offense. Now Romero comes down, Eamon rolls around the screen set by Blood. Nice spin move, but his defender was all over that one. And Eamon's going to get called for dribbling too long without getting anything started. Ref holds up all 5 fingers for 5 seconds.
Fitz trying to slow things down for the defense, get them situated. Charles is trying to tell Eamon something. Couldn't quite tell what it was. Missed shot by number 5. Eamon aggressively grabs the rebound as 10 is trying to get the ball away from him as he easily takes it past the 10-second line. Fitzpatrick being forced to his left. Matthew fakes the 3, gives it to Fitzpatrick, over to Eamon Martin. Eamon drives to the high post, over to Matthew Romero, into Gus Blood, takes a dribble, spins around, turns, and that's going to roll into the basket. Gus Blood good for 2.
Travel called on the Illineks. Number 31, McManus Mendelowitz, comes back in, as well as Blaze Laronia coming into the game to take Eamon's place for the Lions. Ball goes to Fitz. Laronia was open, but Romero was pretty set on giving it to Fitzpatrick. Blaze swings it to Romero. Now Charles has it down low. Left-handed finish and in. He's got 11 points. Laronia playing defense and forcing Kemla to throw a long high pass all the way across the court to Clarity, who falls down on his attempted shot, and Blaze grabs that board. He's got 4 now. Fitz drives in and now gets it, dishes it off to Gus. He passes it back. Blaze has it behind the 3-point line. Romero for 3, that's good. Kemla driving in and passing the ball right to Blaze.
And it was, I think it was, that pass was supposed to go to McManus Mendelowitz, but it's quickly picked off. And the Lions are going to keep it.
Blaze pump fakes, but then gives the ball to Charles. Romero fakes the shot, and the defense bites on it after he makes it. Matt's shot no good. Blaze grabs the rebound, but there's going to be a jump ball. There's a little bit of confusion on the Illineks team to get all 5 men out there. They finally do. Number 24, Knox Minot, comes out. He was the player that was taking a little bit of time to get out. John Bronner is also into the game. He had a great JV game with 4 3-pointers. He passes it to Blaze, who drives in. Romero was there, but there was a defender in the way. Bronner creates some space by driving with his leg, and then gives it to Charles, who is off balance. No-look pass to number 3, Ting, who misses his shot, and Gus comes with a rebound.
As Bronner's trying to set something up for his offense, gets it to Matthew Romero. Off the knee of Gus Blood, and Zev McManus Mendelowitz gets the rebound, spins around, takes the shot, no good. Shot was almost in, but didn't fall.
The ball to number 3, Ting, who brings it down the court, and he makes a layup. That's the first points that Uni High scored in a while. The score right now 48-13 with 1:45 left in the 3rd quarter. Gus has in the low post. He kicks it out to Bronner. Charles open from the elbow. Sees Matt cutting in. He has a nice pass to Blaze, who knocks down a 2.
Nice play there by the Lions. Good ball movement. Matthew barely grabbing it, gets it to Blaze. Zev McManus
Now the ball to Curry Reed. Now the Illineks are swinging it around. Romero almost tips the ball away. Desperation pass thrown up, but Charles is going to get the rebound. That was more of a shot, really. Gus has it in the low post. He sees Charles. Bronner's open for three, but unfortunately the ball was stolen before they could pass it to him. That was too bad. He was wide open.
And a great play there by Blaze Aronia. Put his hands up tall. Not getting the foul, and Charles comes up with the rebounds. The ball is being moved around. Blaze Aronia with it at the top of the key. 16 seconds left in the quarter, excuse me. Bronner with it, gives it to Matthew Romero. 10 seconds.
Romero rolls around the screen set by Prather. Laronia has it. He sets his feet, shoots. That's no good, and the quarter's going to wind down. La Salette's at 50 points now, 50 to 13 with a quarter left to play. Uni High's already been putting in some of their bench players, so this last quarter we'll probably see a couple more of the Lions bench come in.
And the Lions, they're playing really good second half, good third quarter. As Charles Prather, he's got a couple good shots. Eamon Martin, he hasn't done as much. John Bronner is able to come in and do some things as point guard, move the ball around. He has a bit of a height disadvantage, but he's able to overcome that a little bit, still able to move the ball around.
Charles Prather is sitting down on the bench. That's too bad because he was at 11 points and 8 rebounds. He was just 2 rebounds away from the double-double, but he won't get it tonight. He's probably done for the night. Eamon is also on the bench. He's at 14 points and 4 rebounds, so the two of them had quite a night, the two juniors. Kemla goes to the corner, pass it across, and Blaze Laronia gets up and tips that one. Now Brownridge drives in. Shot from Kemla 4-3 is good. Bronner inbounds to Duggan. The Lions press break isn't quite set up, but Bronner just dribbles around his man.
And Bronner, his defense was the defense on him was tight, and he was able to poke the ball out. However, there was a foul on the court, and Daniel Bergman's going to come in for Gus Blood. Now, all the players for the Lions are subs. John Bronner moves it around, gives it to Daniel Bergman, holds on to it. John Bronner takes a dribble, gives it to Daniel Bergman, who goes out of his hands. It's going to be Uni High's ball. And I think the mercy rule does come into effect now. I heard Ben Halligan, our clock guy, saying that any time in the fourth quarter, if the team is up by 20, it's a running clock.
And a miraculous shot there by Kemla. He got fouled, so he just finished his shot, even though he didn't have much of a chance, but he was able to bank that in and make that. You don't see that every day. He makes his free throw, so the score now 50-19. Elijah inbounds to Duggan, who brings it up the court. And there's going to be a timeout called by Coach Spezia for La Salette. The Lions haven't been running the press break very well. They've kind of just deteriorated a little bit, and then whoever has the ball will just dribble down the court. And they haven't turned it over yet, but that could very easily result in a turnover.
The Lions subs getting some game experience in a varsity game. John Bronner, he's moving the ball around. That pass was dropped by Daniel Bergman over there in the corner. I don't know exactly what happened. Pass might have been a little bit too hard. Might have just not been able to connect with it. Went right through his hands.
6 minutes left in the game. Lions have a solid lead, and it is going to be Lions ball. There was no one to inbound, so when they heard the whistle, everyone started to break, but then forgot that no one was holding the ball. Blaze has it though now. He gets plenty of space in between him and his defender, then passes it to John Bronner, who almost loses it over half court, but regains control. He tries to pass it to Duggan, but the defender gets in the way and steals that. Shot no good, and Daniel Bergman grabs his third rebound. Bronner bringing it up the court just as he did in the JV game. Bergman open again behind the three-point line, but passes it to Blaze. Comes back out, and now the ball at the top of the key with Duggan. The Lions look like they're more focused on getting the offense to work than shooting a three, so even though they have debatable shot choices, they're not taking them unless they're really good. Now Bronner does have one of those really good shots, and he sinks it for three.
Bronner just absolutely on fire tonight. I think he's 5 for 6. He had 4 threes in the JV game, and every single three, besides the one that he missed, was nothing but net. As Zev McManus-Mandolowicz takes the shot, and he makes it. However, I believe there was a foul on the floor from Elijah Hall, so no points. And Blaze Laronia gets his hands on the ball, going out of bounds. Stays with Uni High. As Rylan Ta comes into the game for Blaze Laronia. Blaze playing a good game this evening. Couple rebounds. Good defense. Had a lot of tipped balls. Island playing tight defense. As Uni High pushes it over to the wing. The three's no good. Rebounded by Elijah Hall. Gives it to Bronner, who takes it up the court. Walks past the 10-second line with 3 minutes, 38 seconds.
The ball comes off of the Illineks foot as Duggan tried to pass it in. Ryland just came into the game for Blaze. Bergman was open right there, cutting to the hoop, but Elijah was watching Ryland, who got an open look as well, but wasn't able to finish.
As the clock ticks down to just under 3 minutes, Uni High takes it up. Another chance to put points in the basket. Spin move hook shot, no good. Bergman with the rebounds.
Bergman's been pulling down a lot of rebounds late in the game. Still boxing out even though the Lions are up by a considerable margin. Rylantoff finds Duggan. Bergman comes to the high post. And now Ryland takes a jumper. That's going to be off. Bergman there for the rebound. Lets it go through his hands, and that's going to bounce out of bounds.
Sean Holman comes in for Elijah Hall after that missed shot from Ryland. Danny Bergman stepped out of bounds, as you said, and so it's Uni High's ball. And Sean Holman with the big play, tips the ball. It's going out of bounds, staying with Uni High.
Bronner guarding Alon as he drives in, and he's able to keep a shot from being scored. Sean Holman grabs a rebound. Bergman down the low post, doesn't have anywhere to go. Ryland, nice move, and now Holman open to put his layup in for an easy 2.
As the crowd is chanting, they want Theo, and Theo's older brother, Father James Carlisle, is gonna motion him to take his warm-up off and prepare to come into the game. And there's going to be a travel on the court. And a timeout by the Lions. And is this Theo's first varsity minutes?
No, I think he has gotten in the game. I can't recall which one, but he might not have. I can't remember if I'm just thinking of the blue and white game or not, but this is definitely a lot more playing time than a lot of the subs have gotten out there so far. Especially Bergman, who's had quite a night on the boards. He's pulled down 5 rebounds. And then John Bronner coming in and making his first varsity 3. He's had quite a night in both games that he's played in. Less than a minute left to play. Lions up 55-19. Corey Reed takes the shot, and John Bronner pulls down the rebound, passes it down the court quickly to Ryland Taw, who instead of taking the layup pulls up so that the Lions can run their offense. Also, there's no reason to tack on extra points like that. Sean Holman spins and makes a hook shot. Shot from the Illineks is off target. Sean Holman can't grab it.
Looked like that went off the head of John Bronner. And Sean Holman's smart, does not move his feet so he doesn't get called for a travel. And John Bronner, a pass to Theodore Carlisle. Theo was not expecting it, and it's off his hands, and the buzzer's gonna ring for the end of the game. 57-19, Lions pull off a big victory here. It's a nice victory after the Lions' hard loss to Arthur.
But that's definitely a good start to this part of the season. Our next game is, of course, against Danville on Saturday, January the 14th. JV is at 1 and varsity is at 2:30. Make sure you tune in for that. That's a local rivalry, and Danville's always a great team, so that should be a very exciting game. But until then, thanks everyone for watching, and have a good evening.